Iraq is redrawing its economic map, precious metals in the facade. The government moves to diversify its non-oil sectors. They are sitting on tremendous reserves and now they are developing them. There is much more in Iraq's income than just oil. They have many gold, silver, and phosphate and precious metals. They have far more resources now than what they did under Saddam Hussein when the Iraqi dinar was worth over $3. How can they put bonds into circulation without a rate? They're not in circulation. If someone told you they are, get away from them. They've told the citizens they can buy them, but they're not in circulation right now. Why? Would you buy them at 1,310? No. Because there is no exchange rate for it yet. Iraq is awaiting Turkey's approval to restart oil exports from the Kurdistan region via the Ceyhan pipeline within 2 days, Iraqi Oil Minister Hayyan Abdul Ghani revealed on Monday. Baghdad and Erbil form a joint technical team to inspect the readiness of the Kurdistan oil export pipeline. This pipeline had been mothballed for a couple years and is now roaring to life. They are planning to test it in the next 18 hours or so to start again moving oil through Turkey for sales. An agreement has been reached and confirmed to resume the export of Kurdistan oil. They're not going to use 1,310 as a value basis for this to happen. They're going to have an IMF multi-currency practices rule and compliance issues stopped. They're going to need a real effective exchange rate in dinar terms for this to happen. If this holds true, a change is to be coming. Iraq, which holds over $100 billion in reserves in the US, relies on American support to maintain access to its oil revenues. However, its financial standing could be at risk as US President Donald Trump has signaled a return to his maximum pressure policy on Iran. Iran has used Iraq as an economic gateway to access hard currency and bypass US sanctions. The Prime Minister discusses with the IATA delegation the procedures for lifting the European air ban on airlines. They have had a multitude of exchange rates to study and experiment with over the last 7 years. They've done a great job of it. We call it a second set of books. It has actually more than that. It was called the RV phase, the revaluation of the Iraqi exchange rate to determine what rate they should use. It turns out the rate was pretty high, but logic will cause them to come out at a decent rate, maybe 1-to-1, or just do the right away at $3+. Eventually the float should take it to $4+. Stay hopeful, we will get to the end of this. We don't know the exact timing, but so much is lining up. I am not ruling out February yet. When the new currency comes out, both Baghdad and the Kurds will use the same IQD, but only Sudani will control the currency. Only Sudani will control the country with the CBI. Sudani control the new exchange rate, not Barzani, not Parliament, not even Trump. Oil prices fall as Kurdistan region exports resume. Quote, oil prices fell in early trading on Monday, extending losses from last week amid the possibility of resuming exports from oil fields in Iraq's Kurdistan region, while investors await clarity on talks aimed at ending Russia's war in Ukraine. Epicor seeks non-political deals to resume Kurdistan oil exports. The pipeline is ready to flow per Turkey. It was ready back in 2023, as noted in the previous article commented on today. This is seriously a very big deal taking place. Again, the implications are massive on a local, regional and global scale. The impact is going to be a mind-blower to many. Kurdistan oil export, Washington presses and Baghdad faces challenges. I would like to point out that Baghdad is calling BS on some Reuters articles saying the US is threatening sanctions if Kurdistan doesn't start pumping the oil. Both Washington and Baghdad say BS and tells them to stop with the fake news. Everything that we read every day has nothing to do with 1,310. Does this international global system have anything to do with 1,310? No. Does the complete overhaul, change, blood transfusion of the banking system, the monetary performance system of Iraq, completely changed? Do you think they didn't change the 1,310 exclusive 5 Iraqi banks to be banned from US dollar transactions, so it's not 15 banks, only 5 from engaging in US dollars? These are the CBI restrictions and not US sanctions imposed on the banks in Iraq. I repeat, not US sanctions. Many of these Iraqi news media outlets love to exaggerate and tell you these are US sanctions. This is called fake news. Yes, even in Iraq. Iraq is international without a doubt. The problem is they have not released the reason why you are international yet. That will be a new exchange rate with a new denomination of currencies called the lower notes. Iraq moves towards globalization. Implementation of international accounting standards begins in 2026. The head of the Strategic Center for Human Rights in Iraq, Fadela Al-Gharawi, confirmed today, Sunday, that Iraq ranked 148th globally in combating corruption. Al-Gharawi said in a statement received by Euphrates News, a copy of it, that Iraq witnessed remarkable progress in combating corruption during the period between August 2023 and July 2024, according to what was shown by the second report of the program to follow up on trials of major corruption cases, which was prepared by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in cooperation with the Supreme Judicial Council. He added, the year 2024 witnessed the follow-up of 170 cases before the Central Criminal Court for combating corruption, compared to 150 cases in 2023, which reflects a 13% increase in the number of cases under consideration, and 80 rulings issued by the criminal and misdemeanor courts of integrity were reviewed, bringing the total number of cases followed up and reviewed to 250 cases. Regarding the number of convictions, Al-Gharawi said, the number of convicted defendants increased from 231 defendants in 2023 to 371 defendants in 2024, an increase of 140 defendants, or 60.6%. The number of convictions also increased from 63 to 73, an increase of 10, or 15.9%. He explained that the number of cases returned to investigation decreased from 21 cases in 2023 to 19 cases in 2024, and the number of cases returned for retrial decreased from 10 cases to only 4 cases. In addition, trials in absentia witnessed a significant decrease, reaching 19 cases, 11%, compared to 32 cases, 21%, in 2023. Al-Gharawi pointed out that according to the report, the cases under consideration included a number of ministries and government agencies, with the Ministry of Industry and Minerals topping the list with 28 cases, followed by the Ministry of Finance with 17 cases, and the Baghdad municipality with 14 cases, in addition to 12 cases in the Ministry of Justice, while 8 cases were registered against the Investment Authority. He explained that 65% of the cases were concentrated in Baghdad, where the number of cases increased from 72 cases in the first year to 111 cases in the second year. Anbar Governorate also entered the list of registered cases with 13 cases, while other governorates such as Babil, Nineveh, and Karbala witnessed an increase in registered cases. Al-Gharawi praised the measures taken by the government, the Judicial Council, the Integrity Commission, and the oversight bodies, calling for legislative reforms that include expanding the definition of corruption crimes to include influence peddling and bribery in the private sector, enhancing transparency and accountability in institutions that suffer from high rates of corruption.